right, guys, we're out here in Welland, Ontario, doing a shop tour, which is a series we're starting on different shop tours for portable toilet companies. We're out at Halco Portables. Good friend of ours, Dino, been in the industry a long time. He's going to give us a little rundown of the shop today.
We're just in the outside of Halco. 2 locations, I believe he has, and a few thousand toilets, but we'll get into that more with Dino.
All right, guys, we are here with our good friend Dino, one of the owners of Halco Portables. Been a great hand to us throughout the years. Done a lot of work together. Dino does a lot of innovative, cool things that you're probably not going to see at different yards. Thank you for showing us around.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Let's go in. Yeah. This is where the office staff parks. You can see we're busy.
That's when you know you got a nice operation, when you got a good office staff.
Yeah. Coming in, this is our reception, Wanda. She's our point person. Works really hard in making sure that everything gets expedited.
The backbone.
She's the backbone. Yeah. In here, we do our accounts receivable and payable and all our invoicing. Sandy is my right-hand woman. Keeps me paying the bills.
Yes.
As you can see, I'm a huge football fan. Been coaching for 14 years. Come on into my office.
Wait till we see all the Steelers apparel in here.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Who knows who this is for the video? Very famous Pittsburgh Steeler.
So here's Kevin's office. He's my general manager, my right-hand man. When I hired him, we had an interview going, and I always go back to this interview where he said tickety-boo. No biker is ever gonna say tickety-boo, and I hired him right there on that thing. I go, he's gotta be a nice guy if he said tickety-boo. So we had to build him this office because we're running out of space. We got guys in closets, we've got guys in coat rooms. We're trying to make as many offices as we can. But we gave him his own office and his own bobbleheads.
He's requesting his own bathroom though too. So.
Well, he can have as many as he wants.
All right, I did mention that Dino does things a little more innovatively than a lot of other companies. We're now in kind of the heart of the shop here. He's gonna show us a little about the actual building. So most companies you're gonna find, probably all of them, don't actually assemble their own porta potties or build their own heated units, but Dino does things a little differently.
Welcome to Santa's workshop. So this is a unit right now we're renovating. People always question the type of stuff that we use for exterior. Oh, that wasn't good. For exterior paneling. Everybody likes the white paneling, but we go to the smart panel and it works just as good as any type of material. The innovation here is this unit we kind of calculated was, I think, 23.
Okay, 2003, so I guess it'd be 22 years old.
That's Brandon, he's our head builder. Some of the things that we change on it too is we don't want to paint these, they rust.
Yeah.
So we go to the aluminum style now, so there's no maintenance required.
Yeah.
Right. We try to keep it as simple as possible.
So they were assembling these before you bought the company?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had about 25 units before.
Okay.
We took over. Now we've got, I don't know, 300.
Was that probably one of the things that enticed you about this company, was that they're actually assembling their own?
Absolutely, and having an electrical construction background, I love to construct, right? I still love that component. You'll see the transition. These are the older ones, and then as we go outside, you'll see the transition on how we made it better.
Cool.
That's where the challenge and the fun is.
Yeah, 100%.
Is to make something better every day. There's Brett, our chief mechanic. He's working very hard in keeping these trucks on the road. A big component to owning a washroom company is the trucks. Purchasing them, modifying them, making sure you got the right guys in the trucks.
Part of like the actual equipment is one of the biggest pains in the ass, isn't it? Dealing with all that, the vacuum pumps and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sourcing the parts and pieces, right? So me and Brett work very close together in the fleet management aspect of it, because we want to make sure my equipment's running all the time. All of us hit the road, we have to have good CVOR, right? If anybody of you young guys coming up, CVOR is the golden ticket, right? Satisfactory, unaudited is the place you want to be.
That's where you need to be.
The challenge owning a washroom company is you're dealing with the Ministry of Environment, you're dealing with the Ministry of Transportation, and you're dealing with the Ministry of Labor. So you've got 3 ministries that are watching you very closely. When these trucks go out, we make sure that they are impeccable. You get pulled over, you don't want the Ministry of Transportation red flagging that company. Now they're going to be looking for you all the time. So your best bet is don't try to cut corners. Get the trucks properly fixed, get them running on the roads properly, so that your reputation is untouchable, unstainable, right?
100%. You want your guys comfortable too, to feel like if they get pulled over, they're not worried about.
Absolutely, right? Because they're going to get dinged as well, right? So it's optics as well. You don't want your drivers to get into a truck that's, leaning left. Having these trucks running and in great shape, is huge to me. And then your staff knows where the boundaries are,
Yeah.
right? They don't have to guess or hesitate. Boundaries are, make it right. There's none that's non-negotiable, right?
So there's one way to do it, and that's
right, and it's the right way.
Yeah.
The wheels come off, the bearings have to get checked.
Yep.
And we don't hesitate in 1 minute to replace anything that needs replacing.
Do you guys use any software for the maintenance component at all?
We're looking at some GeoWare right now, where you can plug it into the OBD, and then he can look at it in real time. If it's out on the road, he can pull it up and go, what's going on, and he can
speeding or whatever the case
yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah. Well, the routing software catches the speeding as
Does
well.
it? Okay.
Yeah, so that helps us as well. Here's one of the new trucks we're just getting ready to build.
Again, you won't find in a lot of other companies who mostly just kind of buy ready-to-go trucks, which is what we do. Dino does things a little differently on the truck side, which is probably a very good example we have over here.
So when we took over the business from Bob Halkovich, when I met him, the first thing he says is, "You can't change the name." And I says, "Bob, as long as this company makes money, it'll never change the name." So we carried on the legacy of Bob Halkovich and kept the name. He's passed away since, and he's been through the shop a couple times watching the innovation. Nobody in his family wanted to get into the washroom business, right? So we took that opportunity to run with it and make it a great company. And part of it was that he always had them in boxes. And there's not a lot of companies that put washroom systems in boxes, if any. I don't think there's anybody that
You're the only one that I know of, at least.
It gives you a couple of great things with that. And one of it is you've got a huge billboard.
That's very true, actually. Yeah.
That
I never thought about that component of it.
So you got a huge billboard.
Yeah.
Plus all of your equipment stays warm and heated during the winter months, right? We service a lot of self-contains, right? Because self-contains is a huge component to our business. These trucks can do brine, salt water, and they can do fresh water. So we got to carry a lot of water to keep everything running and keep everything in place.
So you have the standard vacuum trucks tank in here, plus 2 separate drums for brine.
Because the tanks that they build, they don't have enough water component to them because they have to be subject to waste.
I mean, with the heated equipment, we run into that issue all the time, but actual water capacity to make sure you're filling them up properly is a big issue. So that's...
Yeah.
And it keeps everything warm. You don't have any freezing, I guess, in the winter.
There's a heater in every one of these trucks.
Yep.
And we make sure that when they're on the road that they've got the best equipment to do the job properly. This comes with a power washer as well. So if there's ever any tip overs or any leaks like that, they've got a power washer.
That makes the driver's life 1,000 times better.
Absolutely. My goal is to make the driver's life nice. I know, working from construction background, when I used to go on job sites that I hated because the foreman was very disorganized. I hated that. So I took that knowledge and that feeling, and I says, I want these guys to have a flawless day. So they've got an electric power washer here at their disposal every day that they can do anything they want with. It's leaps and bounds so helpful for them.
So win-win. The guys are happier. The guys on site are happier.
So that's the thing is, in this industry, you try cutting a corner, you're going to lose.
This area Kevin mentioned is basically where the truck parking is.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks parking here.
Okay. So you're keeping everything indoors at night. That's a nice to have.
It's absolutely great, right? Like, that's a big challenge nowadays, right? Because a lot of places don't want washroom companies, right? Oh, you got a washroom company? No, we will not rent to you. So it's very hard. Here's one of our trailers. This is, again, an older unit. We're trying to stay away from trailers.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, the issue with is theft. Somebody can steal it.
Got it.
And there's a lot of mechanical parts, components that can break down. The skids seem to be a lot easier to move and bring around, and we put it on our float and we take it on our float.
Okay.
Right? There is still a demand for units on trailers. It just makes it easier for the driver because you can pull up in a pickup truck instead of a flatbed, right? And that's where it's a little more mobile.
One of the things for Canadian winters, brine, which is a pain in the ass, but I know you guys have a pretty good system.
So one of the funny things when I first got here was I had to become a scientist. And one of the parts of being a scientist was to get a proper mix of brine. And the funny thing is, if you go in my office, you'll see a bottle up there. It says Dino's Brine. They actually made a bottle in a joke. The staff made a bottle that says Dino's Brine because I was agonizing over it, right? Yeah. And one of the things about brine is you got to use salt no matter what, right? And salt's good to -22, and that's it. So every one of you guys should have a chart like this. This is your brine schedule, right? And in your brine schedule, you guys might not know this, but what happens is you can only mix salt to -22. The issue is that if you add more salt, it will derate it. And if you look at -22, all of a sudden it starts to go up, it starts to go down again, right? It goes to -18, I don't.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. It goes from -21 to -18,
Yeah.
-15, yeah.
So a lot of guys don't know that.
So you have to have the perfect ratio.
You have to have the perfect ratio. And the big thing is you put salt in the urinal. Humans have salt. So you always want to stay at about -20. You don't want to go to -22 because the urinal will add salt when you, in the urinal, and your body is going to add salt to the tank, right? So if you get freeze ups, try to stay at a -22 for your mix.
Yeah.
But you have to look at what the temperature is that time too, right? So if it's -4 degrees out, you don't got to mix the whole batch. You don't got to mix, 50 bags of salt. You mix 20 bags of salt.
Smaller ratio, yeah.
Right. So you gauge it as the winter goes, right? But when you get into the depths of, the winter, you got to make sure that you have this, and you got to buy a salimeter. Pull a sample out of the tank, and you will see, it will tell you what your mix is at. Yeah. Right? I think a lot of guys struggle as well with how to mix brine.
We're fortunate enough, we actually are in a scenario, we have a landscaping company right beside us who has like a very professional brine machine, and they basically sell us brine throughout the winter. And I could tell you from experience, on our first winter, I had to make the brine myself, and I'm not as creative as you or smart as you because I could not figure it out.
Right.
And eventually we said, hey, just sell us the brine. So we will eventually have to go to a point where we don't have the next door, and we'll have to probably come asking you for advice.
No problem, anytime. So the way that they mix the brine is with a pool pump. You can do it many ways. You can do it just with a sump pump where you can recirculate the water, like we do here. So we'll bring water in and we'll just circulate the water. They'll throw the salt bags in here. It'll start at the bottom and then they'll just circulate it.
Yep.
Or they'll run it through the pump and getting mixed really.
So the final product will end up.
No, that's fresh water.
That's fresh water.
That's fresh water.
That's where the salt brine
This
is
is where
together.
this is the salt brine mix.
Okay.
In the summertime, we use more regular water, so we just fill these up with just fresh water,
Got it,
right?
for the guys to pump
Yeah.
together.
So we go through about 1,400 gallons a day, roughly. Because the wintertime, plastics buckle a little bit. There's not as many.
Yeah.
So we just have enough for that. We do have a washing machine and a dryer that washes all our rags, and we recycle our rags.
I've honestly been using the Princess Auto shop rags.
Yeah, that's fine because you don't have the ability to do that.
No.
But when you have space and an ability,
That's when I'll know we've made it, when we have a washer dryer in the shop.
The big thing here is shuffling equipment all the time, right? So 30% of your inventory is here. You have to have your plastics ready to go for the summer, and the self-contained's got to get parked, right, for the winter. Then we shift it back in the winter come November, usually November 1st, when we go into the brine season. We shift all of our heated units out and we push all of our plastics to the back because there's not a lot of call for it. One of the things I want to show you, here's a solar one. So the city of Welland purchased this one. We maintain it for them, but this is a solar unit, right? A single self-contained solar unit.
Oh, that's cool. So the actual municipality bought the unit from you and you...
Yeah, so we maintain it and we have the service contract for it. If you want to see the back. This sits along the Welland River and people use it, and then people try breaking into it as well. You're gonna have vandalism, right? But here's the battery component of it. I don't know if you guys can see in there, but you can see how there's all kinds of electronic equipment to work the solar panels. It is really a unique setup, and I like to apply my electrical knowledge to this type of equipment to keep it running.
It makes a ton of sense because you can still have a nice quality heated unit without any access to power, which...
Well, this is a 3-season.
3-season.
No heat.
No heat.
Can't, because the heat will just kill the batteries.
Got it. Okay.
Right? Yeah, it's just, they don't make them 4-season yet. Technology's not there.
We're not there yet.
One of my other companies that we purchased was Clean Sweep. That came with these high-end trailers. So we cater more to the high-end people that like these type of
Should
trailers.
be like more like a weddings and
Weddings,
higher end events.
yes,
things like
higher end events.
Yeah.
Those are those units there.
Yeah.
We just changed the name to Platinum.
I like it.
Yeah, so
I like it. Platinum VIP.
yeah, it's got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
This one is a triple on a trailer. We only have a couple of these.
3 stall in there, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a 3 unit there.
Yeah.
Here's one that we've innovated, and you can see we went to the aluminum frame.
Yeah.
No more painting, right?
Smart.
Added aluminum corners so that if there's any nicks on the corners, we've siliconed them really well. And these are the new type of doors that we use. So when you're building equipment, you want to make it as efficient and as least amount of maintenance as possible, right? So you just want to have your pump, your accumulator, your circulating fan, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I can say, yeah, we have several of these that we service, and it's, you know, quite easy. Literally open up the dump there, suck it out, and just fill the water, and you're good to go.
I know. And you've had great results with these units out there.
Absolutely.
It's just moving away from the tin cans, right? Like everybody gets the standard tin cans. They freeze up. You hear horror stories about it all the time, right? Ontario Hydro guys love our equipment. They love our service. So we've been very, very blessed to work with Ontario Hydro.
Yeah.
They are the gold standard, right?
Right.
So there's some of our equipment that we have. Sometimes we go to multiple sites and we have multiple contractors. So we got every key is
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone gets their own key so that they can't go in another person's.
That's right.
Because you don't want people using your bathroom.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it cost me a fortune on changing the locks and getting the key mastered, right? So
Right.
the drivers have a master, they can open every door.
Yeah.
But the owners have their own separate key for each individual one. This is one here where we put a generator on it because sometimes there's a need for a generator, so we will put a generator on them.
What time do your guys start in the morning?
I never really set the hours as long as they get the run done.
Okay.
So that's how I look at it. I never push a guy. If you show up at 8 o'clock in the morning and you got to work till 5, work till 5.
Yeah.
You know you got 40 to clean in a day or 50 or 60 or whatever it is, get it done. I never make it a hard and fast rule because people are working here continually, and there's people here on weekends. There's people here that are, have to let their dog out, whatever it is. We're very friendly in that sense, right? We don't make it a hard and fast rule. You got to be here. You punch in the punch clock. Your day starts. Do your circle check. Go and do what you got to do. And
There you go.
a lot of people like that. They can set their schedule. I have one driver that starts at like 12 at night.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't want to interact with construction guys. He doesn't want to be part of anything. So he starts 12 at night and he does his shift and he finishes at 8 in the morning. So if he has access to all of the construction sites, fill your boots.
There you
Go clean, go have fun.
You're avoiding the traffic and everything. It's
Avoiding
off hours cleaning can sometimes be
absolutely,
beneficial.
absolutely. And so that's why I knew there was an advantage to it.
Yeah.
Let him go. You know, he's got to understand though that he's got no support in-house. So when he's out there, he's out there.
Yeah.
Right? No one's going to pick up the phone. No one's going to come and get you. There's a little bit of a challenge to that, right?
Yeah.
But people like this because it's black and the logo looks good.
It does look sharp. I'm not gonna lie. It has your colors there and everything.
Typical. What do they usually say? You can't judge a book by its cover, right?
All right, guys. We really appreciate you having us out here, Dino. You've been a super big help over the years, and I'm really glad you got to give us a tour of all your different cool things and how you're doing things a little different from everyone else in the industry.
Awesome. Good luck, guys.
All right, guys, that wraps up our yard tour with Halco. So Dino's quite the interesting guy. We love him. So hope you guys enjoyed that video, and we'll see you on the next yard tour.